So Wimintra J. Raj, she's founder and editor-in-chief of www.hotelintel.co, which is the leading regional B2B, B2C online intelligence publication for hoteliers, hotel owners, hotel investors, and other hotel industry-related professionals. When she isn't writing, she's speaking at industry events with a proven track record of building up and running a really successful online industry-specific magazine. So, Wimintra, why don't you tell us your views on what the hotel and accommodation sector might look like going forward as a result of COVID?
Thank you, John. So I think we have already covered a lot more of the overview of what it might look like. So I want to touch more on what the future might look like for hotel operators and management companies. I think we have here a few of our owners joining us today. Some of them are my friends, and I've actually talked to them. I think flexibility is a key word for this. I feel like hotel operators have to be more flexible in terms of forcing rules and the regulation or their brand standards onto hotel owners, because during this time things hasn't been as easy. Holding on to your brand books is going to be the last thing that hotel owners want. It's going to be the last thing that anybody wants. You need to be flexible. Like franchise, I feel like franchise will be the next big thing. In the US, franchise is very popular, but in Southeast Asia, Marriott, Hilton, IHG make their money from management fee. But I think that is going to change in the future. Hotel owners will change into more of a franchise agreement because they will have more control. I was talking to one of the owners, actually, he was joining us recently. He said during the COVID, because of the health and hygiene standard, they were told that they need a specific equipment that need to be imported from the US, and it costs like $20,000 US dollars to $30,000 US dollars, while we can actually sort it locally. So things like that need to be rethink. I think hotel operators need to be flexible about their term and contract. For example, another thing that we've seen about cleaning, room cleaning, like you don't need all those. So people talk about, okay, we use Ecolab, great, amazing products, but we have other things that are actually not too bad, and it actually going to cost owners more. Right now, even though hotel operators, want to keep their hotels open, the owners, the biggest concern for owners is to pay the bank. The keeping the hotel clean, great. Social distancing, great. Hire everyone, great. But the owner is thinking, how am I going to freaking pay the bank by the end of the month? That is something that, are very important. And I think hotel operators, big brands need to rethink that very quickly. Another thing that I also think that we, in the future, that we need to be is diversified. I think everyone talk about how we rely on one market. For example, in Asia, in Thailand, we rely heavily on Chinese market. We don't really talk about local market, but now we really heavily rely on them. I've talked to some of the hotel owners or even hotel brands who actually will tell me directly, like, no, we don't want this specific market in our hotel. But now it's like, okay, we'll have whoever they want to come into our hotel. Another thing that we want to talk about is the future of hiring staff. I think a lot of hotels have realized that you can operate with less staff than you think you need, because of the technology that's coming in, the money that's not already there. So you kind of max out on your staff. And I think the way we hiring staff will be a little bit different. I don't think that we need guest service agent anymore, if that works. It just doesn't make any sense now with all the social distancing. You don't want people to walk, following you everywhere or come kneel down to you, offering you drink or food. So that's the way you hiring people going to change. A lot of the work will be replaced by the technology in IT. Another new skill sets will need to be adopted. People will need to learn more about digital marketing. They need to be able to write. They need to be able to interact with guests directly. So a lot of jobs will be replaced, and a lot of position will have to be what do you call it, to become one position. And another thing that I was talking about in terms of media as well, the way we do media, the way hotels spending on media will change as well. Because right now, when we as a media company, Stephen, John, me, we know when we talk to hotels or suppliers, everyone said we don't have a budget. And they realize that they don't really need us like they used to before, because they can just use the social media, their digital marketing. So the way they do media will change as well, because they will rely heavily on digital marketing. But then again, you will need a media, because we are here, we have an authority to talk about your product. You don't have an authority to talk about your product, because if you talk about your product without media, it feels as if you were, standing with your megaphone telling people how great you are. It just doesn't have you don't have that authority to do that. Yeah, that's the future for me. Is management companies need to be flexible. You need to work with hotel owners. You cannot, your brand book doesn't mean anything. It's not a Bible. It's not a constitution. You need to rethink it. You need to be able to work with the owner. Franchise is on the way for Southeast Asia, for Asia, and it will be the way to go, because owners feel like they can benefit more from the franchise side, and there will be a lot more of new companies such as asset management company, owner reps. These people will come in and really help owners in operating their hotels.
No, absolutely, Wimintra, you're absolutely right. And I think Ron alluded to the situation with owners as well. And yes, the banks possibly have been a little bit generous at the moment, but there will be a point at which where they will be turning around to owners and saying, hey, come on, guys, we've been generous now while all this trouble's been flying around, but it's time to sort of pay some money now. So we will see things, I think, getting a bit tough in that space. But I think you talked about flexibility around the rules and regulations for owners as well. Really important too. The more franchise model, yeah. Look, I think you're right. It may emerge that way, but digital marketing, you're so right, and I keep on saying, there's no such thing as free publicity. A lot of hotel companies employ PR companies to get them free publicity, but there is no free publicity, because that publicity is costing somewhere. And a lot of people today think that digital marketing is the answer, and it is. But you've got to know what you're doing in digital marketing, because huge amounts of money are wasted on digital marketing, and it's a space which eGlobal Travel Media is going into.